Market snapshot. Copyright Getty Images. Tesla shares in focus after being left out of S&P 500. Investors on Tuesday picked up where they left off on Friday ahead of a U.S. three-day weekend, with a sharp fall in tech stocks pressuring major benchmarks. Bloat era remarks by President Donald Trump on Monday, threatening to decouple the U.S. economy from China, added to market jitters, analysts said. What are major indexes doing? The Dow Jones Industrial Average (DJIA) dropped 453.88 points, or 1.6%, to 27,679.43, while the S&P 500 (SPX) gave up 71.44 points, or 2.1%, to trade at 3,355.52. The Nasdaq Composite Comp slumped 349.18 points, or 3.1%, to 10,963.95. U.S. markets were closed Monday for Labor Day. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite dropped 3.3% last week to end Friday at 11,313.13, its biggest weekly decline since March. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 1.8% last week, ending at 28,133.31, while the S&P 500 dropped 2.3% to 3,426.96, the biggest weekly falls for those indexes since June. What's driving the market? The major U.S. stock indexes fell last week, with the Nasdaq bearing the brunt, as previously high-flying technology shares suffered a heavy bout of selling. Read, here's why the Dow plunged last week and what's ahead for stocks. The reversal for the Nasdaq, which had previously soared to a series of all-time highs, was led by falls for its highest-flying components, including Apple Inc., AAPL, Facebook Inc., FB, Microsoft Corp., MSFT, and Amazon.com Inc., AMZN, and Google parent Alphabet Inc., Google, as worries grew that the momentum-led gains for the sector had finally pushed valuations too far to be sustained. The only path to a sharply higher stock market is a bubble like the late 1920s and 1990s, says analyst who called rally off March lows. Remarks by Trump in a Labor Day news conference left futures under pressure, analysts said. We will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world and we'll end reliance on China once and for all, whether it's decoupling or putting in massive tariffs like I've been doing already. We're going to end our reliance on China, because we can't rely on China, Trump said. Meanwhile, China on Tuesday said it would launch an initiative of its own to set global standards on data security, a move seen as an attempt to counter U.S. efforts to isolate their networks from Chinese technology. Trump's comments clearly rattled the markets, which fear an escalation of tensions between the two economic superpowers as the U.S. nears its election, said Boris Schlossberg, managing director of FX strategy at BK Asset Management, in a note. The increasing conflict could hurt the U.S. high-tech sector the most, with China already stating that it will try to create its own chip design and manufacturing business as it tries to rely less on the U.S. technological know-how.